What's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? We're so glad you're with us. Alongside Luke McElroy, say hello.
What is up?
Fellas, ladies, the infamous and the best. Luke McElroy. He is not only an author, a speaker, an inspirer, an encourager to all the creatives in the world. He also owns several companies, one of which is Orange Thread Media and Triple Wide Media. So as you can see, my man's rocking the orange undershirt in the orange chair. He stays true to the brand. Tonight, I felt like I needed to stay true to the brand, so let me take my shoe off. I'm rocking the oranges too, you know? Rocking the oranges too. I mean, you know, I stay true to my brands.
Love it, dude.
Stay true to my brands.
I
Nashville.
can't necessarily do that because my shoes are already off, but don't worry, they're orange.
They're orange. They're always orange. Oh, and he's got orange socks to go with his orange shoes. Nashville Predators.
Get it?
I mean, Nashville Sound in the house. Baseball season starting. Luke, you live in Nashville, Tennessee. How's Nashville, Tennessee tonight?
Oh, it's beautiful right now.
Yeah?
Seriously, it's like the weather we had been dreaming for before all this snow and ice came. So
crazy. So crazy.
That's good.
Okay, so most of you guys may or may not know Luke. A lot of you probably do. Some of you may not. So, Luke, tell us in a nutshell, what is it that why the creative community? Why do you care about the artists and the storytellers and the weirdos and the production people, all of us, the people like me? Why do you care about us?
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, I'm one of us, right?
Yes, you are.
I think what really came to sort of my awareness a couple years ago is that I believe creatives have superpowers.
Yes.
And those superpowers have an ability to affect people, to communicate in a way that we can't really like turn off.
Yep.
And the reason I love the creative community so much is that I want to help other creatives see their influence, see their superpower, see their ability that when they step into their craft, when they step into their calling and they use the gifts God's given them, that it'll hopefully transform lives. It'll hopefully expose people to the beauty and the mystery and the awe and the wonder.
Yep.
That is God.
Yes.
And
Amen.
I mean, that's why I love him so much, you know?
And how have you seen that actually happen through SALT and the SALT community? Because, you know, I'm a big fan of the SALT community. I was honored and privileged to get to travel with you guys this past fall. I know it was cold. Whenever it was cold. We traveled when it was cold, and we hit a bunch of cities. I couldn't even tell you which ones because every day we woke up in a different one.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We got to share hope and story with a lot of churches, but you invited me into that community. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we started 5 years ago. We did 4 conferences like in a row. We did 13, 14, 15, 16. And then after that, we hit the road with you. But the whole vision had been basically there's a bunch of people who serve in the creative community in the church specifically. What if we could help awaken a whole new tribe of creatives to basically realize their influence, realize their potential, but more than that, really hone their craft so that the church becomes good.
Yes.
And we really realized that a lot of people who are hired in the creative realm,
Yep.
they're not hired because they went to some seminary school and have this sort of deep spiritual background. They got hired because they can do something.
Yeah.
And we sort of had this vision of like, man, what would it look like if we could have this conference where nerds come together, right? Creative genius come together, and we could just hang, but we could also get away from our consoles, get away from our video computers, whatever, and worship and actually go deep spiritually.
Yep.
You know?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. One of the things I've loved about the SALT conference and the SALT tour specifically, I do believe there was an equal amount of inspiration, perspiration, and like scriptural development, discipleship.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of conferences do one or the other. We're going to massively inspire, or we're going to massively educate and make it practical. And, you know, short of maybe one other conference, they miss that opportunity to like help the people who never get to worship.
Right.
Now, that is the most awkward moment ever for worship.
100%. I mean, people are in the room and they're like, wait, am I allowed to actually worship, or is something cool technologically going to happen? And I need
Right. Like, I'm worshiping right now, but I'm pretty sure these lights are all going out at any moment because I'm not watching them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something we actually protect. I mean, you were a part of some of those conversations for Salt 17, but when we do the big event in Nashville, which we're coming back in 18.
What's the dates? Give everybody the dates.
October 10th through the 12th.
October 10th to the 12th.
2018, hashtag Salt 18.
Salt 18.
Then go to saltnashville.com for sort of some preview.
Can you share anybody who's going to be there?
Nope.
Not a single one?
Stephen Brewster, hopefully.
Oh! You heard it right here, folks. I'm holding them to it. I'm going to be there October 18th.
No, 10th through the 12th.
Oh, 10th through the 12th. I'll be there from the 10th to the 18th. I'll be there for the whole – I'm going to stay extra just to enjoy Nashville.
That's so funny. Yeah, but, we really try and protect that worship time because think, like, if you are a creative, you are a techie, you are expecting, like, oh, my gosh, the LED wall is going to explode. The lights are going to be awesome. But the problem is that's going to stop us from being able to enter into our own opportunity to worship, which is really healthy for us. I mean, it's really needed. I mean, how many people listening remember the last time they worshiped and they didn't have to do something in the middle of worship?
Right, exactly.
And it's awkward because we're not used to it, but it's so important. And that's something we cherish. And so we always try and protect those worship sets and to not try and do too many things that are.
I love it. Okay, so when people come to the conference or the tour, we're not 100% sure if the tour is ever happening again. But if it does, I mean, we might be cooking up something. But if they come to Nashville October 10th, is it just sessions or are there breakouts? What does that look like?
It's like everything.
Everything.
And you actually will get a bag of chips because I'm sure Chick-fil-A is going to be there. So
chips, education, inspiration, discipleship, can't beat it. Okay, so that's one aspect of what you do.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about Triple Wide a little bit. Just give us the 2-minute, what does Triple Wide do and how can it help churches?
Yeah, so basically we're an online platform of a whole bunch of digital content, motion backgrounds, still images, countdowns, all that.
Yep.
For churches that need high resolution content. So we partner with like 60 genius creatives all over the world. And yeah, it's awesome. I mean, especially with Easter, like if you're doing environmental projection or widescreen or just need great HD content, take a look.
All of the above.
All the above.
Okay, now we get to dig into what I'm most excited about today. Luke, you wrote a book.
Yes, I did. It's somewhere over here.
Okay, now guys, listen to me. Luke has been a friend of mine for years and years and years. I honest to God, this is no like garbage talk. I love this guy. Like this dude is solid gold. He is the real deal. There are a lot of people who run conferences who you have to kiss butt to so that you maybe get an opportunity to get on stage.
Never kiss butt to me, I'd pretty much throw you out.
Exactly. Luke's my guy. Like we talk almost every single week about something. And the book that he has written, I have read. And I'm telling you, as someone who is a practitioner, somebody who does church creative work every day of the week, this is a book you need in your life. Okay. There are not many books or curriculum or resources for the people that do what you do and what I do every single day. Okay. And so I'm leaning into your empathy right now. If you are struggling with where you're at in your church and helping it be its best, I want you to buy this book. Now, it's not a massive investment. Okay. The book is worth it. Most of you are going to bill it back to your church anyway, so don't worry about it. Okay. Luke, tell us, if I read this book, what's happening in my life?
Man, I don't know if I can tell you that for sure because that's the part I can't wait to see, right? Like you write a book and you start hearing all these stories come in of what people have done. But basically, I hope that it unlocks something for you. I mean, I hope that it causes you to sort of stop giving into the fear that's going to prevent you from creating. I hope you find sort of the value that is tribe and community and collaboration. I hope that you redefine excellence for yourself. But I think that I hope more than anything, there's probably somebody listening to this and goes, I'm not creative. I don't need that book. And you're the person that need to read this book because
absolutely.
I argue in the book that every single human being is creative. What's up, girl?
This is Grace. She is straight up bum rushing our conversation right now.
I love it.
Sorry, everybody. This is Grace, my youngest twin. Youngest kid that we have. Grace, get out of our shot, okay? Thank you. Thank you. She's on her hoverboard, and like in my house, if you're on the hoverboard right now, that you have free reign to do anything you want. Okay, so wait, you were at a very pivotal point. This is Hope. She's also in it. She's the other twin. Thank you. Goodbye. Everyone is creative. And Luke, you and I have had this conversation, okay? We all know that at the end of the day, everyone is creative.
Every human.
And most people let go.
Came by and picked up the trash.
And most people let go of their creativity.
Yeah.
Somewhere between kindergarten and fifth grade.
Yeah.
Scientifically, that's actually true. That's where they forego creativity and move to the next level. Okay? And so they read this book, they're going to get inspired to be creative, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I think I hope that what I do is I say that like being creative and being an artist are two very different ends of a spectrum.
Amen, brother. Preach that.
Like one of the things that I've been talking about a little bit today on some of these awesome conversations about the book is that creativity is one thing, but of that are sort of different mediums of creativity. Like art is a medium of creativity. Technology is a medium of creativity. Storytelling is a medium of creativity. So for someone to say, I'm not creative because I can't make something out of nothing is for you to have a jacked up view of creativity.
Yep.
And I hope that part of this book sort of helps us realize we're all creative because we're made in the image of God. And the fifth word in the Bible is create. And more than that, it's the very first characteristic we see of God.
Yes.
And so because we are made in his image, that means we're inherently creative, you know?
Yes. I love that, brother. Amen. Did y'all hear that? If you did not hear that, rewind the tape, listen to it back, buy the book. Okay. Now, a couple other things. Number one, tribe.
Yeah.
We've had deep conversations personally, you and I, about creativity. We've had deep conversations about helping the church be its best. But probably the deepest conversations that we've ever had is around tribe.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think this is where I want to kind of sit for a minute between the conversation we're going to have. Tell me about tribe.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a really bad perception that to be truly creative, you've got to be on your own. And I think that creates this sort of solopreneur model of, hey, if I want to really step into my potential in life, I need to sort of find a way to get away from team, go hide out. And, the truth of the matter is, I mean, we've talked about this, but I have that same temptation every single day. Like I want to close my door and just go, let me grind this out.
Right, totally.
Let me get it out. And there is a balance between not being distracted by all the content and relationships and all that are in your life. Because they can very easily become just sort of gossip and chit chat versus productive iron sharpening iron. But the truth of the matter is God never intended us to create on our own. And he definitely never intended us to step into our calling on our own. I mean, we need people. Look at just the concept of marriage and relationships that like you need one another to sort of sharpen, your ability. And that, think about the concept of a team. I would argue that there is probably not a single top-selling album. There's probably not a single top, movie in the box office that didn't have unbelievable amounts of collaboration. It's just simply not possible. But I think one of the things that was pretty crazy, and you and I talked about this during tour a little bit, is that I was researching a lot of this collaboration stuff, and I was trying to go, okay, I get that like there's a ton of stories in the Bible that show like all these teams that come together and these partnerships and Paul and Timothy and you have all these sort of amazing people in the Bible. That would be a great example. But what I learned is that God literally collaborated with himself to show us.
Yep. Wait. Pause for a second. I need you to repeat that so everybody gets it clear.
Okay, so God literally collaborated with himself to show us our need for community and relationships with one another.
Community and relationships.
He is not a God one-in-one. But the truth is, he could have been. I mean, he created the universe. He could have literally himself stepped into this earth, removed sin for us, and been done. And we wouldn't, quote, need Jesus. He could very possibly be our companion, our helper, Holy Spirit. And in theory, it's not needed. Because right. God is God, right? And for us to think that he needed them or needed those entities of the Trinity,
Yep.
For us to diminish God. So God could have been 1 and 1, but he chose to be 3 and 1 to show our need for community.
Bro, that is so good.
I mean, when I realized that jacked my whole world up. I mean, that'll cause you to go, okay, I want to go be by myself or want to go create by myself. I need to get out of that. You know?
Okay, so you and I are in the mutual Erwin McManus fan club.
Yes.
We both read The Last Arrow.
Yes.
In The Last Arrow.
We both probably listened to every one of his 3 podcast episodes 4 times. Okay,
I didn't do it 4 times, but I tried, man. I really tried. I'm an Erwin fan. Like that's like if you had like life goals, my life goal is to be Erwin. But like not 4 times. So in the book Last Arrow, right? Mm-hmm. He talks about tribe. And he talks about how the fullness of your life is lived when you live it with your people.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I talked about this, and this really moved you. I'd love to hear, or you to share what it was we talked about. Like, this was a chapter for you.
So this was, this was defining for me, right? Because as some of you know, some of you don't know, over the course of the past 20 months, 24 months, I've had a lot of transition in my life. And I've moved from Nashville, Tennessee, which is the home. Well, it's what we consider home for my family. My kids love Nashville, Tennessee. My wife loves Nashville, Tennessee. We built a team there that was family. You got to experience a little bit of that, Luke. You got to, in fact, my last speaking engagement in Nashville was SALT. What year?
That would have been SALT 16.
SALT 16.
And I asked you.
Go ahead.
I asked you to teach on how to hire and how to fire people, right?
How to hire and how to fire people. What a great going out party. And on the front row of my breakout session is my entire team. Like a week after I've told them that I'm leaving. And I literally was barely able to get through it. Like it was the second hardest live event I've ever talked about. The hardest one was I spoke at that church conference this past year. They asked me to speak on transitions. It was the first time that I ever publicly spoke about some of the things that Jackie and I and my family walked through, leaving Cross Point, some of the issues that we had to confront that forced us out, some of the experiences and emotions we had to process post, and more than ever today, I am a 100% believer in tribe. I think when you are connected to your people, and one of the things that I love the most, when I was on the tour bus with the SALT crew every single night, that's a tribe. Vic, Andrew.
I'm going to go name all these off.
Tim, okay? My man, Jay Hamp with the dance moves and the dope videos and sneaking into the hotel room and sleeping in beds when we're all in bunks every night. And all of the production peeps that were like rolling around, and they were trying to be low key, but they were rock stars, straight up rock stars. Follow them all on Instagram. I love what y'all are doing. That's a tribe, man. Like that's your family, you know. Totally. Joe Angel Sanchez. There's not a better dude walking the planet, breathing oxygen than that guy, man.
Yes.
Okay, solid gold brother. So
I tell him that I just become better by osmosis, by just hanging out with him. Like I sit next to him and I go, I'm becoming a better human. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Just right here.
I mean, I only got to hang out with him for like a few nights on the bus. First off, amazing taste in music. Second off, great, the best jeans on tour. But my man, and he did appreciate the Toby Mac impressions. But great guy. And that's
fun fact for those listening. Go back and watch a Facebook Live we did with you telling about your journey. And you did a Facebook Live and you literally mimicked pieces of him. Maybe we are not allowed to tell about this, but it's on Facebook Live. So let's just
hope he doesn't notice. Tobe, yeah. I love you. Tobe, if you see this, I love you. I've always.
But your wife texted you and said, "What's up with the hands?"
No, my wife texted me and she's like, "Why are you acting like Toby on the video?" And I'm doing it with the dudes because the dudes were out on tour with Toby. They know kind of what's up.
Yeah, a lot of the crew was there. Yeah.
It was awesome. Okay, so tribe goes beyond just creation.
Yeah.
Right. Tribe goes tribe goes into like, this is how we do life. So unpack a little bit of that for us about how you live out tribe in your community, in your business. Like, you help churches all over the country. How are you helping develop tribe? And then when you walk into a church, how are you helping kind of transition tribe culture into their world?
Yeah, like I think for me, the way that we see tribe is that I'm going to get a lot of credit out of this book and out of this story of it, quote unquote, being my story. But the truth matter, it's not. I mean, this could not exist. I want every single person who buys this book to flip to page, wait for it. I want you to flip to page 227 and see that my acknowledgments took literally 2 pages because I could not figure out, actually it's 3 pages, which makes it even more amazing, because I couldn't fit all the people who have been a part of this story authentically without listing all these people. And it wasn't like we did some, Kickstarter. It was like, if you funded the book, you got your name in the back of the book.
Right.
Like, this whole SALT thing, and you've met them, the people you just described, this thing couldn't have happened. This whole story wouldn't have come to existence if I didn't invite others to sort of say, hey, I don't have all this stuff together. Would you come and invest into this? Because truth is, when we started the conference, you know this, I had never worked a conference outside of the production side. And so we had no clue what we were doing, But Katie Strandland did. So we brought her in. I had never worked with sort of the role of like speakers and artists and musicians and all that. I'd never had to deal with that side of it, but Joe Angel had. And I knew that with me becoming a potential more host role, sort of pastoral position rather than like production, I needed the most genius production person in the world, and that's Nick and his wife, Sarah.
Yep.
And I just would say that, SALT is not what it is without being tried. But I'll also say this, and you got a chance to see this firsthand, which I've never shared this story, by the way. So this may be an exclusive just for you. But
I love exclusives. Come on.
The number of times that Nick or Sarah and I or Vic and I or Joe Angel and I have really gotten at each other from an argumentative standpoint or whatever, all happens around how do we craft the best experience for those who attend SALT.
Or why did we put Steve on stage?
No, those typically are not necessarily like issues. By the way, it's potential. You spelled that wrong. But I'm just going to call you out because that's more fun, right?
Don't buy his book.
Well, you can. Just don't go to that website because I don't know what it is. I don't want you to be like led down something. But so anyway, tribe matters because when you start doing creativity, when you start stepping into your purpose with others, they're going to make it so much bigger than yourself. And I don't think that God ever called us to step into our potential or step into our purpose so that we get a bunch of credit and glory. He did it so that we would give him glory. And when it's team and when it's tribe, you can't take it.
I love that, dude. Love that. Okay, so what's the one thing that people, when they buy this book, they're not expecting that they're going to get out of this book?
I think that they're probably not expecting that this is their story too. Like what's in these pages, yes, is my narrative, but I genuinely believe that it's their story because I think everybody hits story of hitting wall in their pursuit of their calling, right?
Yep.
Like no matter what we do in life, when you're starting to process your purpose in life, you have to wrestle with there's going to be left turns coming that you don't expect. And I think in many ways it's how we respond in those, moments that allow us to truly understand the potential that is in our purpose, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes total sense. So
I think that's going to surprise people that they'll find each other. Like my dad, I gave my dad a copy of the book. And you may be going, well, your dad had to have liked it. No, he actually didn't.
He had to like it.
He didn't like the first 2 books. In fact, I heard him at church the other day telling a neighbor of ours, oh, my son wrote a book and it's actually good. He's actually written 2 others before, but this one's actually good. And I said, translation, the other 2 were not nearly as good as this one. That's what that was.
That's amazing.
But I gave him the book because the only people who had read the book up to that point, and this was before it even became a printed copy, the only people who had read the book were creatives or people who were creative beings or recognized their creative being, I should say.
Yep.
And I said, hey, Dad, would you mind reading it this weekend? Can we talk next week? If there's things that you feel like I can do to maybe help non-creatives sort of feel like this is also for them, I'd love to hear it. Or can you just give me any thoughts that you have of like changing, things or whatever? I just really wanted constructive feedback. I wanted as many people as possible to tell me I got to fix things.
I love that.
And he read it, and we talked the next week, and I said, so did you take any notes? He goes, Luke, I have like 3 pages of notes. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe we need a little bit of grace when we walk through these notes. Like, I wasn't really wanting 3 pages. Like, I was like, hey, here's one thing.
Like, I was thinking like 2 lines.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, all right, well, what's your first thing? And he was like, oh, no. These aren't notes for you. Like, these are things I'm taking away from this. And that blew me away. And that wasn't just my dad being my dad. He understands that I love people who sort of say, I want to make this better. I want to challenge status quo. I want to help refine. But it had caused me to realize this book is going to impact those who don't see their creativity. It's also going to impact people who are looking for a job, trying to figure out what in the world they're going to do with their life. It's going to be people who have this sort of belief that, hey, I'm supposed to do this thing on my own. Hey, this calling is for me. Like, I got to go. And that's going to rob you of everything.
Yep. No, that's great, bro. That's great. So the book's amazing. It's available today. This is your last interview of the day, so you're winding it down. You're completely spent.
I'm so tired of talking about this thing. But
you're so tired about talking about it. So this is where, as an interviewer, I get to ask questions that normally you would not ask because you're so tired you don't even know to say no.
That's kind of scary.
Okay. What is the best question you've been asked today?
Oh, man. I can't remember.
That's good.
Probably this one because I don't.
What is the worst question you've been asked today?
Gosh, they're all a blur. I'm like trying to. Well, we were talking a little bit that there's certain times that when people ask questions, they don't ask a question. They make a statement and then go, do you agree? And I just want to go, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, totally. It's great. Thanks
so
for
listening that wants to know how to interview people. Don't set up the answer in the question and then go, do you agree?
Thanks for reading the book. Appreciate it. Really, really good. Okay, so how much of this book will people experience when they come to SALT 18 this year?
Oh, I have no clue. Gosh, I want to tell everybody our theme, but I'm not going to.
You sure you don't want to release it at this moment? Like,
let me tease it this way. You will know the theme if you read the prelude of the book. You won't know the theme, but the theme is in the prelude of this. So only 3 pages, which a lot of people skip over the prelude.
Yeah.
The SALT 18 theme is within the pages of the prelude. Does that help?
No, I mean, that's good. I mean, it's good marketing. Way to go. I'm proud of you for that. All right.
Well, because you and I talked about the theme on SALT 17 Tour, and I told you I'd written it. And
I mean, I know the theme, but I'm not allowed to say it. So
it's not there yet.
It's funny. Luke makes you sign NDAs right before he starts having conversations with you. So it's super weird a little bit, but whatever.
Have you ever emailed an attorney and you see in their like at the end of their signature it says like all this stuff is confidential and like you can I'm like, can you legally put that on every email? Because I'm just gonna start putting it on everything. Like,
actually, yes, you can. But
it'll be on the back of my car. Like if you see me or hit me, I'm taking you to a court of law.
If you hear me talking at a urinal, it does not count.
Oh my gosh, we just
all right. We've gone deep today, guys. Luke is an amazing leader. I'm so glad he took the last minutes of his day to join us. He's been fried. He has done all the work today.
I'm gonna flip this before you hang up on us.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
What is I mean, you've been a leader of creatives for a long time. You've equipped, you've poured in. I mean, this is the thing I love about having you part of a lot of our SALT events.
Okay.
What is the number one thing you tell creatives when they're on your team? Like, what is like, I know you guys have a lot of like core principles and themes and like sort of, you have a language. You're really good about crafting a language, but I want to know like, what is the number one thing you sort of expect from your team when it comes to tribe, collaboration, creativity?
Yeah. Okay. So That's a great question. And honestly, a question I've never been asked before. So for my teams, it's not one answer, but the first one is we're a family. And so I'm going to protect you. Mm. And because you can trust that I'm protecting you, I want you to take the biggest risks that you can take. And I don't mean the biggest risks that you're comfortable taking. I mean the biggest risks you can take. Like, I want you to do things that you're afraid are going to fail miserably. And you let me take the bullet for it. I want you to go be creative.
Dude, I'll never forget the lunch you and I had where I said, hey, what are you guys doing right now? And you said, I just came out of a meeting where I told my team we don't fail enough and they need to start failing more.
Yeah. Because,
I'm like, what?
No, because in church, here's what happens. We love our pastors, right? We care about them. We want to serve them. We want to honor them. We want to do all the things that make them happy. But the truth is, they hired us to be creative. And they hired us to take the same message that we tell 52 times a year and make it fresh every week, right? And so if we're not doing something so scary, at least 3 times a year, 4 times a year, if we're not doing something that's like, this could be the worst thing that we've ever done in our entire life.
Totally.
Then we are not doing our job. We're failing our job. We're failing our leaders. We are not stewarding the influence God's given us over the creative endeavors of our church.
Now, is there a balance in like certain seasons or certain times when it is good to risk and certain times it's not?
Fantastic follow-up. Never risk at Christmas, never risk at Easter. Those are not your risk times. But guess what? You have the whole summer. Half the church ain't even there. And the ones that are there.
Statistics go, hey, statistically, this is going to be a low attended service. So we're
right. So we're going ham. Like we got unicorns. We got rainbows. We're doing pyrotechnics. Like it's going to be bonkers. But so I want to do all of those experiments there, because when we do the experiments there, we find out if they work, then we can perfect them for Easter and Christmas and the fall series and the January series and all those high attractional moments that are going to keep people coming back to our church, right? But a lot of times we get scared to do it because we're like, well, the pastor's not going to like it, or the elder's going to call a meeting. And when I was at Crosspoint in my first year, I used an Eminem song, which shouldn't be shocking to anybody who follows me on Instagram. I used an Eminem song in a video promo, and the elders were like freaked out, right? And they called a meeting with Pete, and they were like, they actually read the lyrics of the song to them. So I want you all to pause for a second and imagine like a 60-plus-year-old, great hair, khaki pant wearing dude reading lyrics from an Eminem song.
Which you probably didn't understand.
Half the words he didn't even know. The other ones were curse words. And so my pastor called me that night, and he's like, yo, we actually lost the battle tonight, but I think we won the war. Because if you don't get in trouble doing something like this about once a year, you're probably not taking big enough chances.
That's amazing.
Right? And that's what I try to preach to my team all the time. I want you to take chances, but I want you to take chances knowing that I've got your back. You will not get in trouble for those chances. I will, and I'm good with it. Let me get in trouble.
That's so good.
I can get in trouble because I've earned enough equity to get in trouble. You probably haven't. So let me be.
What you're doing in that process, I've found, is that you're actually encouraging your team to say, hey, I want you, or I believe in your community. I believe in your art. I believe in your craft enough for you to just run with it. And I find that in many ways, that's how community is built. I was talking to a guy the other day who basically was like, how do you build community? And I was like, well, I actually argue it's a whole lot easier than it seems. You just start believing in everybody else.
No question, Luke. No question.
Like,
and
you tweeted something the other day about that.
Well, and here's the thing. Everyone who walks through the doors of your church is looking for one of two things. They're looking for purpose. They're looking for community. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, purpose can come through 2 ways. The first way is Jesus. We all know that. Okay. So they connect to Jesus. They connect to the calling he has on their life, the purpose he has for their life. There's a lot of purpose in that. Most of the time, the function of that purpose is found in doing something. Okay. Which means I'm going to plug in and serve, give, be in a life group.
Yeah.
All of those kind of things, right? Purpose. Community is we're all looking for somebody to have empathy on our story. That's all we're looking for. One person who can understand our story, connect to our story, and help us continue to write the next chapter of our story.
Yeah.
Right? And so
we want to be known.
We want to be known. And when we're known in our church, all of a sudden, I'm coming back because Luke knows me. I became friends with Luke, and even if I don't like the pastor, I don't like the worship, we don't serve enough, I'm coming back because Luke's my dude, and I'm coming back for Luke. Yeah. Right? Purpose and community. And when we do those two things, and as a creative team, when we do both of those things together, so as a creative leader, when you create purpose inside of your serving opportunities and community inside of your team, you blow it up. At Crosspoint, we had over 400 volunteers. And the reason was we created purpose every weekend. We created community every day.
Yeah. And that it's true, because I think in creative ministry, sometimes we forget that even our volunteers need community. Yep. I mean, it's what you experience as a speaker on a conference. We wanted to try and help you be a part of that community. Sometimes that's tough because people don't want to engage, which means you've got to not just invite them, but you've almost got to drag them in.
You've got to go seek the community as a leader.
Hey, we're doing a barbecue tonight. You're going to be there. It's not and if I need to pick you up, I'll pick you up,
Yeah.
Dude, when I first got started in creative ministry, there were two guys, Matt and Steve, and I couldn't drive at the time. These guys went out of their way to go pick me up at my house so I could be a part and I could hang with the best of them, if you will.
Yeah.
And dude, if it weren't for the two of them to say, hey, I'm willing to go out of my way to be for you, I never would have been in creative ministry. I never would have seen that creativity and art and tech have an impact on people.
I get it, bro. Totally get it. Okay, so we have a burning question from the comments right now.
Okay, what's the question?
Will there be food trucks at Salt 18?
I mean, is the sky blue? Like, salt equals food trucks. I mean, it's like a requirement.
Will the grilled cheesery be there?
Ooh, actually, we're working on that one. So what's funny is my office is like right there, by the way, is grilled cheesery. So we're there all the time. And we told them the other day, we were like, hey, you guys are family to us. You're part of our tribe. So we now want to introduce you to the rest of our tribe. You better be there or
it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Tell people where they get the book, bro.
CreativePotentialBook.com. Head over there. There'll be a bunch of links. But
I put it up in the lower third, but I'll get blasted. So
So yeah, CreativePotentialBook.com. That's the best place. I mean, here's another little bonus. If you end up seeing this video on March, what's today, the 15th and the 16th. So the day before the Ides of March and the day of the Ides of March, and then the day after Pi Day. Anyway, I've confused everyone right now. Which is
you weird. Just nerded out like on a major level, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so 15th and 16th, March 15th, 16th. If you see this video this day, go buy the book right now, and then go to that website, go to pre-order bonuses. If you buy the book and fill out this form, I am going to hook you up with basically everything in my arsenal.
Wow.
So it's like 10 videos I taught at a conference a couple years ago. It's like 3 hours of teaching. We didn't get there, but you did something a couple years ago at SALT. You call it the 8 flavors of a team. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And I modified it to the 5 personalities of a creative process.
So he made it better is what he's saying, people.
Well, you and I have processed this. Maybe that's going to become something someday. But we said somewhere between 5 and 8, we've got to figure out a nice because we're missing some in the 5. But that's one of the sessions. And it got so much spark because it helps people just,
lock in.
Yeah, get a sense of who's on their team. So there's 10 of those. And then I give you my first book. I also give you every digital copy of this book if you pre-order the book. I then give you this talk I did on the SALT 17 tour called Leading Up. And it was really just how do you gain influence upward in your organization. It's great for people who have a boss at their church or they're working for somebody and they just don't see eye to eye, or they're trying to figure out, man, how do I get better influence with them? How do I increase my, leadership ability with them upwards? And that's weird in an organization life.
Yep.
And I threw in 2 brand new guides that we just processed, Understanding Color Theory and Understanding Typography. So there you go.
It's awesome.
All of that, only if you buy the book on the 15th, 16th, and you send me some stuff via this form. So you can go.
Guys, do not sleep. Go get the book right now, okay? Yeah. Get all the extra stuff right now. Right now. All right, Luke, thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man. Really appreciate it. Let's have another conversation very soon so we can tell people how the book has just completely crushed and changed creative culture.
Dude, I love it. And we'll see you in October.
Oh, you heard it there first, folks. I'm holding to it. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We're so glad you're here. We will see you next week, okay? Late.